Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we're gonna talk about a subject which is not so talked about. I don't usually do these videos either, but it is something that I believe we will face at some point, and this is: when do we just let go of orchids? When is there either no hope or, it will just be better for us to let go of that particular orchid? Now, I'm going to show you a few orchids today, which some I do have to let go, some no. So this video is not meant to tell you to throw away your orchids if you see a bunch of dried leaves. But at the same time, I do believe it is healthy to let go sometimes, because not all plants will make it. And hanging on and caring for these guys might actually be a mental load. It is for me. I've reached that conclusion. You will see which ones I will decide to keep, and hopefully this video will inspire you to either hold on to some of your orchids which you might think are ready to go, or give them up if that will free your mind. Anyway, I'm not gonna give up this orchid. I just wanted to start with this orchid to show you that she's in full bloom now and she's glorious. This is the beautiful Hazel Boyd Royal Scarlet. I showed you this one a couple of weeks, actually no, a week ago, and it was just opening up, and now she's fully bloomed. And look at that color. It was worth showing. It's nice starting off with a positive note, because yeah, this is not necessarily the most happy video, right? But it is a reality. It is what it is, and in the end, you need to look out for yourself and then for your orchids. Right, so let's start with one that I do actually need to let go of. And here she is. Now, the reasons for letting this one go are pretty obvious. She's no longer with us, sadly. This is Cattleya violacea alba. I don't even remember when I got this one. 2023. Might be in one of my last orders, I don't really know, but something went horribly wrong here. And the way this all started was by a little bit of rot starting somewhere at the base, and if you see, the pseudobulb is dry and hollow. And yeah, it took over the new pseudobulb and also the new growth it was producing. This one does not look good either. And if I look inside the pot, I do not see any roots either. So whatever happened here, it kind of took over the entire orchid, and since it was in the stem, and as you can see, this orchid doesn't have too many structures, there was nothing I could do to save it at that point, because the infection was spreading to all of the structures, and we have a grand total of 3, there's nothing to save. Now, why did this happen? It could be a myriad of things. Maybe this orchid already came with something that I didn't see, and it advanced slowly until a point where it didn't advance so slow. It could also be something in the medium. That can always happen. I'm using what I believe to be adequate, media and everything, but you never know. These things are not sterile. It's impossible for them to be sterile. And since we're using organic stuff can actually contain bacteria that can affect plants. So that's a possibility as well. It could also be that I kept it moist. That's not always a reason, especially in my environment. Usually I struggle with moisture. Things dry up way too fast, so I don't usually have issues. But it is another possibility. Maybe I did keep it a little bit too moist. Maybe this orchid had less roots than I realized, and I kept everything a little too moist. And maybe I rotted a few roots, and then maybe the infection started in the roots and it traveled up. That is a possibility as well. I cannot tell you if it happened or not, but it is a possibility for you to know that it can happen. And it's always advisable to leave your orchids dry out in between waterings, if they can handle it. Of course, you will have orchids that prefer to be always moist, such as masdevallias. Don't do that with masdevallias. But everything else that we can easily grow in a home, like Phalaenopsis, Cattleyas, Oncidiums, Dendrobiums, these things, they should dry out in between waterings just to not help out bacteria proliferate. Bacteria always multiply, and fungi as well. They always multiply a lot better in a humid environment. And either they go dormant, or some of them completely die in a dry environment. So letting the medium dry in between waterings is actually beneficial for this contained environment that we're keeping our orchids in. And also by eliminating the water trapped in the air pockets, we're offering a little bit more air for the roots. If you're making your medium properly, you know, that's not an issue. But bottom line, if your orchids can tolerate drying out completely in between waterings, I do believe that is beneficial to maintain the bacterial climate in check and not let it go berserk. This is not nature. This is a contained environment in the living room, and things don't work like they do in nature. So we kind of have to intervene from time to time. And this drying out, I think, is beneficial and can definitely prevent situations such as these. Right, so we say goodbye to the Cattleya violacea alba. I've been trying to grow violaceas for a lot of years now, and I keep failing. I will take this as a sign to stop. Maybe these guys are just not meant for my environment, and they're just not happy. They're stressed and more prone to disease because of that. So I am definitely going to stay away from Cattleya violacea moving forward, at least for a while. Next up, this is actually an orchid I showed you in a very recent video. This is the Barefoot Mailman Cattleya, and I was telling you in that video that this orchid only bloomed once, I do believe, and the last pseudobulbs it created tried to put out a flower spike but failed. It was completely distorted. There is also no leaf. It's not the first time it's doing this. And the leaves look a little suspicious. Yes, the looks are suspicious. I am suspecting a virus infection with this orchid. I am not 100% sure because I don't have the possibility of testing it in any way, and you can always be sure by testing, right? But at this point, it has been so long, so many years since I have seen flowers on this orchid, and it's always a struggle. She's always very, very weak. And I also have this weird situation on the leaves. This is not natural pigmentation on this orchid, by the way. It's supposed to have green leaves, not purpley dots on them, which is normal pigmentation on some Cattleyas. Nope, this one is supposed to be totally green. These are something else. And this is a newer pseudobulb. It's not an old one. So you cannot say, oh, maybe it had pest damage and then it got infected. No, it didn't actually. This orchid never had pests to the extent of actually being an infestation and me seeing signs on the leaves. So that's not it. It's something else. And it doesn't really look like an infection, like a bacterial infection, which would definitely take over a little bit more of the leaves. It's kind of sporadic. So all of these, and of course, coupled with the fact that it's not vigorous, all of these signs lead me to believe there might be a viral infection. And these cannot be treated on orchids. And yes, even though I'm not sure about it, I think I will part ways with this orchid, wash the pot and everything really, really well before I reuse it. And yeah, just part ways, because at this point it's taking up time. It's also posing a mild risk to the other orchids. If I have pests munching on this one and then traveling to another orchid, there is a chance they can carry the virus. It's just not worth it at this point. I've been waiting around for too long for these types of orchids to bloom, and if they show these signs that are sus and I don't get any enjoyment out of them, I'm just done. At this point, I really do not have the space and, you know, I don't want to say the tolerance, but like the availability to take care of them. So in these situations, it's always a subjective call. It's up to you. No answer is wrong. If you want to keep the orchid, if you have the means to test it, of course. But if you don't and you still want to keep the orchid, that is fine. That's your decision. Just note the risks. And if you want to get rid of it, that is fine as well. And I'm on the in the second camp. I think I'm done with it at this point. I might repurchase it in the future because I really liked it, but for now, I kind of want the space. Maybe, soon, this year, I'll do another haul. Haven't done a haul in almost 3 years at this point. Wow. So I need the space, and this definitely does not bring me joy anymore, and it's okay. It's absolutely okay if some orchids don't bring you joy. Don't feel guilty about it. We all go through it. And it's fine to either give them away if they're healthy or discard them if you suspect they're virus. I would not gift this to anybody because you are risking their collection, so might as well dispose of it. Now here's an orchid I'm not going to get rid of just yet because it's newer. It's one of the kitties. This is Cattleya Degestiana, which is a flava crossed with Bjongiana. Now, this is one of those seedlings that you don't know how it's gonna look like, and being that they were very, very, very cheap, it's a practice that some nurseries do. They put out for sale seedlings, and who knows what's gonna turn up. Everybody will get a slightly different orchid, which can always be a nice surprise, but you can also have orchids that are just not vigorous. All of them have their individuality. Let's say when they're seeds, they're not clones, so they will not take the same features as the original orchid they have been cloned from. No, they will all be very different between them. So as we can see, this one is not doing well. She has lost an entire pseudobulb here, and growth and leaves, which is unfortunate. But I do also see tiny new growths. Do we see it right here? And I also see one here and one here. And also this one still looks okay, although no, it actually does not look okay. But anyway, so being that this is a newer orchid and it's a seedling, I will give it another chance. As they're seedlings, these orchids can be a little bit more sensitive. Doesn't necessarily mean this particular individual is sensitive and it will forever be sensitive. It just means it's a little bit more sensitive because it's a baby. So what I'm gonna do is find a little container to put it in, just with sphagnum moss, tiny little container. I don't need this big pot. And then I'm gonna get one of those frappe, jars. English does not English today, I guess. So I'm gonna put it in a little dome situation to maintain the humidity, but not restrict air too much. I'm gonna leave, that opening on top, I'm gonna leave it open. So what I wanna do is promote some roots and promote some humidity so that we don't let the orchid transpire too much water. And we're gonna see if those growths will decide to grow some roots. Again, possibilities are endless. So why did this happen? Maybe it's sensitive, maybe it's diseased, maybe it's just, natural, quote unquote, selection in a way. Who knows? But I'm willing to give this orchid another chance since I don't really see, weird spots on the leaves or anything. And it's also a seedling, so I'll keep that into account. It's also new, I don't have it for like 10 years and it did nothing. So in a future video, I'm going to show you the little setup, but it's very similar to my ICU setups. Pretty much what I need to do right now is to offer a little bit of help. I'm not going to put it like, completely closed situation. Too much moisture can rot orchids, and especially stressed orchids. They're much, much more sensitive to these situations. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I should close the window. Give me a second. There we are. I hope this is better. I'm gonna try to cover it with music as well. But anyway, so this one will go in a little bit of ICU and I will pamper it a little bit. I'm not gonna let it go just yet, and I will keep you up to date. Hopes are not high. I never keep my hopes high with these situations because I don't want to be disappointed. Outcome will be 50-50 and I'll try to manage a little bit my expectations. And the last orchid I'm going to show you today, short and sweet. I do believe today's video is short, which I've been meaning to make a shorter video. So this orchid, you might say, well, it's a little dry, it doesn't have leaves anymore. Actually, this is an orchid that I am currently saving and I'm succeeding. This is the Dendrobium Parisi variety Alba. I saw a bloom from it last year or 2 years ago, I don't remember. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. I love Parisis and osmums. Parisis more, actually. Anyway, this one was rootless at some point, and we placed it here in a different video, which I'm gonna link you down below if you want to see. The reason why we planted it on a horizontal was because these keikis, rather than new growths, were creating roots in the air, and at this point this orchid needed to have contact with the medium. And well, look at her after a few months now. She's completely plump. I think the pseudobulbs were a little bit shriveled the last time we checked on it. And we do have tiny new little pseudobulbs just finishing growing for the year. Now, the state of this orchid right now is absolutely normal. This is a deciduous Dendrobium, so in the winter time it will lose all of its leaves. And yes, while the new growths, or keikis, they're actually keikis, they're so tiny and set back, that's to be expected. This orchid was severely stressed to the point of actually losing it, so it's absolutely normal to have quite a bit of setback on this orchid, but it's absolutely really going towards recovery right now. I cannot be happier. And all of these tiny little leaves that you see, they're dry. It's absolutely normal. This orchid has gone through its rest period, And when the weather warms up a little bit more, probably we're gonna have new growths from these tiny little pseudobulbs, which I'm hoping will grow a little bit taller and look a little bit... Do I have a flower here? No, I don't think so. Can you imagine the plot twist? It's a little stressed to flower. It's okay. I don't think it's gonna flower. It could. Stranger things have happened. But anyway, so when this orchid creates better growth and more roots, I can definitely plant her normally in a normal pot. She doesn't need to be on a horizontal, but for now, the whole point of this is to create a new plant. This pseudobulb will eventually be discarded because it is just a little awkward to grow this orchid in a pot right now. But for that to happen, I need to have a few more growths, at least one more growth here, possibly two. I might keep this orchid like this for another year. There's no reason not to. She's not struggling here. She has a lot of water or moisture because this is actually a food bowl. It doesn't have drainage. Yes, I know. No. But if you know what you're doing, you can pull it off. So maybe I will leave this for another year in this situation, and then I will completely remove these keikis, detach them from the mother pseudobulb, and plant them in a pot of their own. And from there on, the orchid should be saved. I did this before with different Dendrobiums, and it works absolutely beautifully. All you have to do is just put up with the visuals for a little bit, a year or two typically, and not be tempted to remove these new growths immediately. The more pseudobulbs or canes you can have, the older, pseudobulbs, the better, because they store moisture and nutrients. So when you will detach them, the orchid will not just be one pseudobulb division, it will be more or less a proper division. And even if you will still experience a little bit of setback, it's just not going to be as dramatic as if you try to remove the pseudobulb at this point. If I remove it now when I see new growth, I might actually doom the orchid or risk waiting another 3 years for this one to completely bounce back. And that's too long for me. We don't want to do that. So I'm gonna put up with it like this. Doesn't bother me. And maybe next year we're gonna make a video on it with removing or detaching the keikis. I hope it will be the case. We'll see. This is a success rescue, and there is absolutely no chance I'm giving up this orchid because I managed to rescue it, and I'm always very happy when I get to them in time. So that is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little update and the subject itself. I don't have many orchids that I need to let go of, thankfully, but sometimes it's just such a relief to let go of something that deep down you know there's something wrong, it's just not going to be what you expected, and it's just weighing on you. Do you guys have that feeling? It's weird, it's just a plant. Why would it be heavy on my mind a little? Well, I don't know. I see it when I water it and I'm like, well, that one's sad. I have failed. It gives me a sense of failure. Am I the only one? Probably. Let me know in a comment below. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!